Alright, so what are we doing here today? Well, Slay the Spire is one of my favorite games of all time. The sequel is coming out sometime in March of next year, and I have never gotten all the way up to Ascension 20 on any character on Slay the Spire, and I would like to do that before Slay the Spire 2 comes out. So I figured why not issue myself a challenge and start with a fresh save file and do one run per day between now and whenever Slay the Spire 2 does end up releasing, and see if I can't manage to get one or more of these characters up to Ascension 20. It would be great to get them all there, but that would require a lot of winning with not too much losing. As of right now, if Slay the Spire 2 were to come out on March the 1st, we have 109 days until then. So with 4 characters and 20 Ascensions plus Ascension 0, that's what, 84 wins that we need. So we've got room for 25 losses or so. So it's going to be a tough climb. But, you know, I'm going to do one run per day. I'm going to give myself 1 day for each character throughout the process of this that I can do unlimited runs to practice, but I cannot climb up a further ascension on those days. Other than that, though, 1 run per day, that will be strictly it, and we'll see how far I can get before Slay the Spire 2 releases. So here we go. Alright, I'll just start with the Ironclad. I mean, I guess I have to start with the Ironclad on a fresh save. I'm really going to do my best here because I know that I don't have too many opportunities to lose with the constraints I've given myself. And losing on the early ascensions will hurt especially bad. So let's take a look here. How many elite combats can we hit? Looks like there's well more elites over here on the right side. And where we go here doesn't really matter. So yes, I do already know how to play. I've been up to about Ascension 12 on most characters in the past, but it's been well over a year or so since I've put significant time into this game at all. Clearly, defend, strike is the answer here. All right, we're getting somewhere now. Alright, I guess I'll play it safe here and do defend, strike. Perfect, we can bash strike now, and that gets us through our first encounter. Back up to full health, can't be too mad. Alright, so Thunderclap, apply 4 damage and deal 4 damage and apply 1 vulnerable to all enemies. Clash can only be played if every card in your hand is an attack, deal 14 damage. Or Combust, at the end of your turn, lose 1 HP and deal 5 damage to all enemies. I think Thunderclap is the play here. Alright, a strange blue humanoid with a golden helm approaches you with a huge smile. Hello friend, I am Cleric. Are you interested in my services? Creature shouts loudly. I don't need to heal. I suppose we should go ahead and probably remove a defend from our deck. Alright, defend, strike. I think that was the better play, getting the vulnerable. I didn't really run the math though. Alright, so bash strike. Defend, strike. These early combats are always tedious, but getting through them with minimal damage can make all the difference later in the run. So he's got 5 shield to break through, 9 health. Can we get there? So that'll do 9 after we break through. This will deal, we'd be 1 short. So we've got to defend, strike. Alright, here we should just be able to take him out finally. Alright, so Anger for 0, deal 6 damage and add a copy of it into your discard pile. You can get away with that card on early Ascensions for sure. But Pommel Strike, deal 9 damage, draw 1 card. It's probably the play here. Just get some card advantage going. Now I think we want to stick to this side so we can play into the elite combat. Alright, Ominous Forge. You duck into a small hut. Inside you find what appears to be a forge. The smithing tools are covered with dust, yet a fire roars inside the furnace. You feel on edge. So I can upgrade a card in the deck or obtain a special relic, but become cursed. Unplayable while in hand, lose 1 HP whenever you play another card. I don't recall if it's a specific relic that we get for this event or a random relic, but either way, I'm going to upgrade a card in our deck. And I think probably Thunderclap. Either Thunderclap or Pommel Strike. Pommel Strike for sure. Here we probably do want more cards in our deck heading into the elite fight, so I'll take the regular fight. And the Cultist isn't too bad at all. Well, we're not going to draw anything better than what we have, so Bash to get the vulnerable on him and then Pommel Strike. Okay, defend, Thunderclap, strike. Now we're keeping the stacks of weakness on him. Okay, 9 coming at our face, but 16 gets through him. That deals 8 plus 1.5 is 8 plus 9. So yeah, that should get through him. Very good. Still chilling at full health, heading into our first elite. Now we can either add a flex, shrug it off, or a dark embrace. Shrug it off is fantastic. Okay, so we do get Knob for our first elite, so it's a good thing that we made sure to get some good damage. Yeah, Bash, Pommel Strike. Right, and his thing is every time we attack him, his strength goes up, or every time we play a card. I don't remember which. Either way, we need to do Thunderclap to keep the stacks of vulnerable on him. Then to block some of the damage, and strike. Yeah, every time we attack him, he gains strength. This dude starts hitting like an absolute truck before long, starting now. So shrug it off. Thunderclap to keep the vulnerable on him, and strike. He hits us like this too many more times, it might be a short run today. Alright, so that would get 8 damage plus 9. We'd be at 17 damage, but we take 27 to the face. I don't think we can afford that. Let's just go with Defend, Pommel Strike, strike. yeah, we can finish them next turn. We're taking 25 straight to the face here, but we've got a campsite coming up. I'm glad we didn't draw all defense there, because that could have been game over. All right, preserved insect. Enemies in elite combats have 25% less HP. That'll be phenomenally helpful. Take our block potion. So headbutt, deal 9 damage, put a card from your discard pile on top of your draw pile. Another shrug it off, or cleave, deal 8 damage to all enemies. I'll take cleave just because we've got the elite that has 3 enemies left in the elite pool for this floor, and that'll be really helpful against him. At this point, we just got to be playing to clear this floor. So definitely rest because our HP is an issue right now. And straight into another elite. All right, we get the Legabulin, I believe his name is. Can't remember his mechanic either, if he just sleeps for a certain number of turns and then wakes up, or if he wakes up once I start attacking him and I'm supposed to basically mulligan until I get better cards. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so striking him does not wake him up. Or, nope, sure does. Damage wakes him up. Okay. I now understand. So shrug it off. Pommel strike and probably thunderclap to get that extra. Or no, we don't have any vulnerable on yet. So cleave. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cleave and go ahead and use my block potion here. Alright, so I've got 18 more damage to worry about. Probably do shrug it off and bash. Don't think we want to use any of these yet. Alright, so that kind of hurts, but now we get a turn that he's not attacking us. So we can do Thunderclap, Cleave, Strike. Now with a good draw, we can get him next turn. Good draw being the key part of that. Nine plus 5, yes, that gets us there. Alright, so we get the Matryoshka. The next 2 non-boss chests you open contain 2 relics each. It's wonderful. Corruption. Skills cost 0 whenever you play a skill, exhaust it. We could possibly get the Dark Embrace Corruption combination going on. I mean, I think we got to take that. So now the question is, do we want to take the route that gives us more combats, or the route that gives us more events? At this point, probably events. I think we've got enough damage in our deck. And it's good that this chest gives us 2 from our last artifact. So at the start of each combat, heal 2 HP. A happy flower, that's going to help us out. Every 3 turns gain energy. Extremely happy to have an energy artifact in the first act. Alright, so we get a fight here. Probably shrug it off, thunderclap, pommel strike. No need to get corruption out yet. That's probably just gonna sit in our deck if and until we get Dark Embrace to go with it and can get some shenanigans going. But just defend to bash? Probably. Alright, so he's going to do 5 to our face, but we might be able to get him this turn with a good draw. Especially since we get the energy kicking in from Happy Flower. So bash, thunderclap, and strike. Perfected strike, deals 6 damage, 2 additional for all cards containing strike in our deck. Don't think we're gonna go with that this game. Rage, whenever you play an attack this turn, gain 3 block. That could help us out. It's not my favorite card in the world on higher ascensions, but right now we are light on block. Or fire breathing, whenever you draw a status or curse card, deals 6 damage to all enemies. I think this is probably a skip actually. Or no, Rage might help us out of a tough spot. Alright, Big Fish. As you make your way down a long corridor, you see a banana, a donut, and a box floating about. No, upon closer inspection, they are tied to strings coming from holes in the ceiling. There is a quiet cackling from above as you approach the objects. What do you do? So we can either heal, gain max HP, or obtain a relic and get a regret in our deck. Regret is unplayable. At the end of your turn, lose HP equal to the number of cards in your hand. Don't think I want to do that right now. We're going to be getting another bonus relic before too long with the chest anyways. So max HP or heal up. May as well just heal up, I think. Max HP is probably better, strictly speaking. Oh, we can face Knob twice. I didn't know that. Alright, so strike, strike, strike. At 25% off of his health is huge. So now he enrages, and now he starts to, okay. Now his strength starts to go up. Alright, we block it though. Not a bad Knob fight at all so far. Alright, so that would be 4 plus 12 would get us to 16 plus 9. We've got the extra energy from Happy Flower, so this should get rid of him. And I think we've got a perfect Knob fight. Excellent, perfect Knob fight. Pocket Watch. Whenever you play 3 or less cards during your turn, draw 3 additional cards at the start of your next turn. Very good. And add a card to our deck. Berserk. Gain 2 vulnerable at the start of your turn. Gain energy. Anger. Deal 6 damage. Add a copy of this card into your discard pile. Probably not. Or gain 12 block whenever you are attacked this turn. Deal 4 damage back. Should we try Berserk? I'll try it. Alright, now we get our first shop, and we've got a fair amount of gold, 200. We can afford the Brimstone if we want. At the start of your turn, gain 2 strength, and all enemies gain 1 strength. That would be really interesting along with the power we just picked up. Enemies would be dealing huge damage to us. Card removal, always an option. Feel no pain whenever a card is exhausted, gain 3 block. I mean, that's a ingredient to the Dark Embrace Corruption combo, if Dark Embrace ever comes our way. Twin Strike, not so hot. Warcry, not so hot. Is that upgraded Shockwave? No, just regular. I'm gonna go ahead and do Feel No Pain. I know it's bad to try and force an archetype. At this point, what would we remove? Strike or defend? Probably a strike, since we have better offensive cards than strike now. Bash and Cleave would take care of the little guy, but we take all of the damage from the big guy to the face. But we can only save a maximum of 5 of it anyways, which would still put us in a situation of that. So I think bash him and Cleave. Oh, that's not going to get him because he gained armor. Wonderful. Oops. That ended the turn. Well, that was wonderful. Alright, it's fine. We'll rally. I guess shrug it off. Thunderclap. And now go ahead and strike him. Yeah, that seems correct. Alright, so shrug it off for sure. May as well play Rage because it doesn't cost us anything. Now, Pommel Strike, Thunderclap, Cleave. We block everything, and I think that's as much damage as we could have dealt. Okay, can we deal 18 damage? That would be 6 plus 6, only 12. So I think we've got to defend up. Defend, strike is probably the play. So that'd be 8 damage. That would be 12. Alright, so now I think we're getting ready to head into the first boss. You get a choice between Infernal Blade, add a random attack into your hand, it costs 0 this turn, exhaust. Power Through, add 2 wounds to your hand, gain 15 block, or Iron Wave, gain 5 block, deal 5 damage. I'm gonna take the Infernal Blade, it's fun. No, it's not good, but I like it, it's fun. We're on a low ascension, so we can get away with it. And here... 13 health versus upgrading a card. I think the answer is probably to upgrade a card. 13 health is not that much. Shrug it off becomes more block. Cleave becomes more damage. That becomes more block. I think probably Berserk. It becomes a lot more playable when it's upgraded. Alright, this is the Act 1 boss who I'm shakiest on his mechanics. I remember that he flips back and forth between forms. This form, I think, deals a lot of damage to you. The other one has like a Thorns effect. And the amount of damage you deal makes him flip between the two. The specifics are what's going to trip us up here. But we get Happy Flower to hit right off the bat, so that's huge. I suppose we should Bash to apply Vulnerable first, and Pommel Strike to give options. Probably go ahead and throw Berserk down. Alright, yeah, so that shifts him into his sort of Thorns mode. Yeah, Sharp Hide. Probably should not throw Corruption down. But using the Blessing of the Forge is probably not bad right now. And I'll pass the turn. Just trying to remember if I can wait him out of this form or if I do need to attack him while he's in it. We'll shrug it off because that's definitely helpful here. Bend. Now we can afford to attack him. Free uppercut is very nice there. He's only dealing 12 to us now, and we've got 15, so we can afford to attack him again. Supposed to Thunderclap just to give that extra stack of vulnerable on him. Rage. We're going to take a big hit to the face here. There's not much to do about it. It's 14 to us. Something like that. Alright, 15 damage is enough to knock him into his other form again. Now I need to actually have block up to attack him. I guess he hasn't cast his Sharp Hide yet, so that's not true. Thunderclap and strike. Deck is not doing a whole lot great right now, so I don't have high hopes for Acts 2 and 3, but we'll see if I can pull a rabbit out of my hat. You never know, maybe we'll get something at the end of this battle that, you know, gives us something to build around finally. Okay, 9 damage coming at us, so we definitely need to find a way to get block up. I guess Bash Cleave. That Thorns is going to tear through this, but is what it is. Alright, so 16 coming at us. At least we have Shrug It Off to take care of some of that. Defend. Rage helps out a lot. Now we can Thunderclap and strike. Cool, we're not taking any damage this turn at least. This extra energy is actually really helping, so I'm glad that I wasn't afraid of the vulnerable. Again, getting that down to 1 vulnerable by upgrading the card was huge, though. Okay, so 50 damage gets him out of his attack. I don't think we can deal 50 at him. I guess Pommel Strike. Gives us more cards at the very least. Maybe Uppercut. So we're going to take 7 damage here. Okay, 34 health. Let's thunderclap him. Strike him should change his form. Strike, strike. Alright, this isn't too bad now. Alright, he puts his sharp hide back up. We've got 5 energy to deal with this turn, though. Probably shrug it off to start with. Don't have any other way to give ourselves block, do we? No. It's 10, 23. That doesn't quite get us there. I think it gets us close enough, though, that we should just go all out. Uppercut, pommel strike, strike plus. No, that does get us there. Alright, sweet. Act 1 down. We've got double tap. We don't need a second berserk for any reason. Or Reaper. Deal 4 damage to all enemies. Heal HP equal to unblocked damage. Exhaust. Reaper's not that great. Let's go with double tap. Now for our boss relic. A coffee dripper. Gain energy at the start of your turn. You can no longer rest at rest sites. That's not good for a deck that's really needing to heal a lot. Upon pickup, remove 2 cards from your deck. Maybe. Replaces Burning Blood at the end of combat. Heal 12 HP. Not the best choice of relics, but I guess we'll go with the Black Blood. We probably don't want an early shop because we don't have a ton of gold right now. So I guess we'll start over here. And I like the idea of playing into events instead of combats right now. Alright, dash. I guess go ahead and strike him. Sure. I'll take a little more damage this turn, but that's fine. Or no, I block it all anyways by the looks of it. I remember these birds giving me trouble in the past, but I don't recall why. So double tap, thunder tap, clap. That's a tongue twister for you. Double tap, thunderclap. I guess killing him makes more sense than throwing block up, because he's going to deal 5 damage, which is 5 block anyways. But that knocks him out of the air. So now finish him off, or save 5 damage is the question. I think probably playing it safe here, especially since we've got multiple cards in our deck that deal damage to all 3 of the enemies. Exactly like Cleave. I know we're gonna need blocks, so we'll shrug it off so we get our card draw first. Now I'll do Infernal Blade. Yeah, that's not so hot, but we can actually play it, so it's fine. Deals 21 damage, so let's deal it to that guy. Then Cleave. That knocks him out of the air, and we're actually blocking all of his, so that's awesome. Alright. Yes, bash cleave. Bash him. And cleave the whole lot. And that'll do it. Alright, so we get through the birds in decent shape. Clothesline, deal 14 damage, apply 3 weak. Clash, no. Iron Wave, no. So this is a skip. Yeah, skipping. Alright, Bonfire Spirits. You happen upon a group of what looks like purple fire spirits dancing around a large bonfire. The spirits toss small bones and fragments into the fire, which brilliantly erupts each time. As you approach, the spirits all turn to you expectantly. Offer, receive reward based on the offer. So at this point, it feels silly to have Corruption hanging out in our deck, just waiting for Dark Embrace to come around, when we're missing several other pieces to add engine anyways. And I think offering a rare card here probably accomplishes the most for us. So let's go ahead and pull Corruption out of our deck. And yeah, that gives us 10 max HP and heals us up. Alright, so here we get an enemy. Let's Pommel Strike for the card draw. Feel No Pain is also a next to no help for us now, so that'll probably be the next removal. I suppose defend. Strike is the move here. Forget that a lot of the best cards that can really make decks go crazy don't come in until you get a couple of clears anyways, or at least level up the character a bit. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and play that. So this is going to be, what, 12 damage to the face? That kind of sucks, but... this stupid 12-plated armor is what kind of sucks. Alright, I suppose shrug it off, because I know we'll need block, and that gives us card draw. Rage is free, so may as well play it. Infernal Blade. Okay, so now we can double tap the Carnage, and we're getting somewhere. That Carnage pull from Infernal Blade was extremely in clutch. Alright, so that 12 damage hit is all that we ended up taking. I can live with that. Rupture Plus, whenever you lose HP from a card, gain 2 strength. We don't have any cards that make us lose HP. Clash can only be played if every card in your hand is an attack. I don't like that. Thunderclap we already have, so this is another skip. At this point, we need to make sure any deck cards we add to our deck are explicitly making our deck better than it was. Oh, how do these two work again? Got Energy Potion and Ancient Potion to remember still. Just Thunderclap to apply the vulnerable. Pommel Strike. I think trading damage here is probably the smarter move. So we just need to get this down to one enemy here. Alright, double tap is back. That's great. So I suppose Infernal Blade to see what that gives us. Clash. It's not great. I think here we just have to double tap. Strike. Still not great. This is a bad turn. I guess maybe here would be a good place to actually use our energy potion. I don't know why I played Feel No Pain. I think I thought that was a different card. Alright, sorry. I'll lock in here. No more misplays or else I'm going to really fuck this up. Okay. Shrug It Off is what I thought that was. I need to read my cards instead of just see it and say like, hey, I know what that is, because clearly I don't. Not that we need to block this turn anyways. Guess we'll double tap the Thunderclap so we can get 2 stacks of vulnerable. May as well play Shrug It Off because we could draw something better to play, even though we don't. Okay. She's trying to deal 10 damage at us. She's got 15 block to try and get through. Ugh. This is truly not going our way at the moment. I think I gotta prioritize damage still. I gotta get her out of the way before she buffs him into something that we can't deal with. Okay, Shrug It Off helps. I like to see that right now. Cleave. Damn it, we're still not going to get through her this turn, are we? Can't even get through her armor. This particular combat is a really bad draw for us. Alright, she finally doesn't have block, so we should be able to get rid of her here. Yes, we can double tap our Pommel Strike. Now I suppose Shrug It Off. We probably should have played Rage earlier in the turn for sure. Now Cleave, she's finally out of the way. Alright, 24 coming at our face. We can't survive too many attacks like that right now. Suppose block, cleave. It's the only thing to do. I'm growing concerned. Alright, anytime Rage comes up, I just need to play it. It's free to play, and even if it doesn't factor into the turn, I just need to play it so I don't forget to play it. Don't have any way to apply vulnerable or anything, correct? Except for bash, but that would leave us with no energy. So pommel strike for the card draw. Now double tap comes. Double tapping a strike doesn't do enough damage. Shrug it off is definitely the play there. Now, do we strike or defend? Probably strike. Alright, extra energy kicks in from the Happy Flower. I like to see that. Shrug it off. Defend simply so I can double tap the Clash. Thunderclap for the vulnerable. Double tap Clash. Okay. Still alive. Iron Wave, garbage card in my eyes. Fire Breathing, whenever you draw a status or curse card. We don't really have many of those. Or Perfected Strike. This is not a Perfected Strike deck. That's like our third, fourth skip in a row. I would like to see some good cards again at some point. Now we go to the shop. Okay, so Strange Spoon, cards which exhaust when played will instead discard 50% of the time. That's not bad, considering Infernal Blade. A Regal Pillow, whenever you rest, heal an additional 15 HP. Potion Belt, gain 2 potion slots, no. Whirlwind is not bad in this deck since we have a few ways to gain extra energy. Not a ton, but we do have that. Master of Strategy is not bad. Or we could focus on card removal here and get another one of those cards out of our deck that's just not doing much for us. I'm gonna go with Strange Spoon. Getting Infernal Blade back, especially with the double tap combo. It's not much of a combo, but it's one of the only things our deck is really doing at all right now, so. Alright, rest because our health is low. Usually when a run's going good, I love to be upgrading at every campsite. Okay, 3 cultists. Double tap cleave is helpful here though. And I guess let's strike the middle one, sure. Alright, so they gave themselves 3 stacks of some sort of buff that I don't remember how it works. Rage. Then do I Infernal Blade the Thunderclap for the 2 stacks of vulnerable? Probably, because we won't be able to play all the extra cards from double tapping the Pommel Strike. It's not even double tap, that's Infernal Blade. So play Infernal Blade. Again, I need to read cards instead of looking at the pictures. That's a problem of mine. Okay. Deal 2 damage 4 times, exhaust. So Thunderclap to get the vulnerable stat on everybody. This is free to play, so may as well throw it at him. Cool, so we take care of one of them. They're going to deal 3 damage to us. Alright, extra energy from Happy Flower kicks in. Let's do Shrug It Off. I suppose Bash. We want to get an extra block up or offense. Probably offense. We're working with 10 extra max health anyways, so it's really like we've only lost 20 here. Rage. Infernal Blade to see what it gives us. So it's cool. We already got to use Infernal Blade twice because of the Strange Spoon. That time it does exhaust though. I think Thunderclap and Cleave is probably the play here. We're going to take another 6 damage, but with a good draw, we can get through this last one now. Did I leave energy on the table that turn? Yeah, simply double tapping the Pommel Strike ought to do it. Alright, Fear Potion. War Cry, draw 1 card, put a card from your hand onto the top of your draw pile, exhaust. That's not bad sometimes. Sword Boomerang, deal 3 damage to a random enemy 3 times. Probably another Pommel Strike Plus is the move here. Alright, 82 gold probably doesn't get us anything worth buying. There's the Dark Embrace finally, but... Anger might not be bad in this deck, to be completely honest. We've got plenty of card draw, 0 cost, and even like the opportunity to double tap the 0 cost spells is not a bad use of 1 mana sometimes. So yeah, let's add an Anger to the deck. Now we finally get to cash in on that extra relic here. It's a Mummified Hand. Whenever you play a power card, a random card in your hand costs 0 that turn. Captain's Wheel at the start of your 3rd turn, gain 18 block. Always helpful. Never ever ever mad at free block. Alright, so now we've got these 2 guys to deal with. Guess we're going to Pommel Strike. Which guy is better one to get rid of first? I have a feeling it's the back guy, but I'm gonna go with the Sentry here. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and play Berserk. That makes Shrug It Off free, whatever. Okay, yeah, that guy in front shuffles Dazes into our hands, so that's why he's the correct guy to kill first. Searing Blow, deal 12 damage. Double tapping the Anger is also cool because that is going to shuffle 2 copies of Anger into our discard. Searing Blow obviously is more damage to double tap, but because of that interaction of getting the Angers running faster, we'll double tap them. Alright, we're gonna take a little bit of damage here. Okay, we get the 18 block from the Captain's Wheel. It comes in absolutely clutch here. So now Thunderclap, Strike. We might be able to finally get through this dude's metric ton of armor this turn. Energy from Flower kicks in on top of our extra energy from the power we played. I guess Infernal Blade to see what we get from it. Uppercut is really good to double tap. Alright, that takes care of him. Awesome. Entropic Brew. Fiendfire can be really good in situations that you don't think it is. It reads like a card that you need to have the right cards to play off of it, but it can also just function as like a kill shot sometimes. I don't think I'm going to take it. I think this is another skip for me, but that's just a little bit about how I feel about that card. It's sneaky. I'm going to play it safe here and rest again. Elite combat is probably the way to go. Scares me here, but we do have the extra 25% health off of them right off the bat. Rage helps us to block some of this. Pommel Strike, get some extra card draw for sure. This is gonna hurt. Guess let's put some vulnerable on Taskmaster here. This is really stupid, but I'm drinking that just to maximize the Entropic Brew. I foresee taking a lot of damage this battle, so we're going to try to avoid that, even if it means exhausting all of our potions in a panic. Power Potion, I'll take that. We'll go with Metallicize. Oh, that makes that defend free, which is helpful. We'll take our free colorless card. Skill from your draw pile into your hand. We'll just take the Swift Strike. This is gonna hurt no matter what we do here. Probably Pommel Strike him. Okay, anger comes up, that's good. I guess just finish him off. We actually got up to enough block there by playing all those attacks, so that's nice. Turn 3, we're gonna get the block from Captain's Wheel. So this is the last turn that we really need to worry about block for a minute. Make a decision soon on playing Berserk or not. Free Rampage is cool, especially double tapping a free Rampage. I'm gonna go ahead and stay aggressive. Gonna take a little more damage to the face. But this turn, I think the Captain's Wheel kicks in. Yes, there's 18 block for us, so now we can just focus on aggression and get rid of that guy. Just shrug it off simply for the card draw, I think. No. So now no matter what we draw, we can kill him next turn. Oh, I'm entangled. Famous last words, right? No matter what I draw, I can defeat him next turn. Well, we're gonna take 0 damage there at least. Alright, now we're through him. Jesus. So we're back to full health. Sweet white beast statue potions always appear in combat rewards. Entrench, double your block. Shockwave, apply 3 weak and vulnerable to all enemies. Exhaust. Probably Shockwave. If we can keep our health in this battle, we may even be able to upgrade it in that last campsite. But it's these assholes again. Alright, Infernal Blade. Shockwave. Cleave. And strike her. It's not a bad first turn. Yeah, you're gonna buff both of you. Rage, pommel. Gonna go ahead and berserk. And then double tap, pommel strike. Then cool, we get through her in 2 turns, and he's only dealing 3 to us right now. Much better showing than the time that we faced them earlier in this act. Rage. Shrug it off for the card draw. Thunderclap. Anger. And end turn. A lot of damage. Let's double tap the pommel strike just for the card draw. Play this for more card draw. Okay, we're through him. Headbutt, deal 9 damage, put a card from your discard pile on top of your draw pile. That's not bad. Inflame, sort of helpful. Intimidate, apply 2 weak to all enemies. Exhaust, we've got plenty of ways to apply weaks. The question is between Headbutt and Inflame Plus. Probably Inflame Plus. I'm a little worried about damage scaling. We don't have anything multiplicative, so we may as well just grab something additive there. Alright, Golden Shrine. Before you lies an elaborate shrine to an ancient spirit. I'll just take the 100 gold. And now we can finally afford to upgrade a card. Upgrading double tap is probably the move. It's been our only big hits is when we use double tap. Famous last words here, but this guy I remember not being so bad as far as Act 2 bosses are concerned. Pommel strike for card draw. Pommel strike for card draw. Anger. Strike. Throw Rage out there, see what we get with Infernal Blade. Let's Cleave. There's lots of better things we could have got there. Thunderclap, Cleave, Defend. Alright, so now we get the block. Captain's Wheel comes in huge. Get Inflamed down there. Double tap, getting that out for free is awesome. Alright, we're kind of cooking here. Rage is not really helpful there, but it's free. I think we can pommel to see our card draw first. Dash to keep the vulnerable stacks up. Anger. Let's go ahead and throw down Berserk for the extra energy. Alright, so he casts Sweep and Vulnerable on us. Just lovely. No card draw and no block to speak of, so we're going to be taking a bit to our face this time. Oh well. Guess that hurts a bit. Alright, double tap is back, but we don't have anything to use it on except for a strike, which sucks. At least we get to use it on 2 strikes. Alright, shrug it off. Pommel. Anger. Probably double defend, or... I think defend is the play there. This deck is just really, like, not good, right? Like, I mean, I picked cards, but we just never got anything wonderful, so it's really just a game of, like, maximizing our plays here and being efficient. See if we can't squeak out a win. Act 3 is going to be a whole other ball game, but... Alright, so we got Anger, Strike, Strike, Strike. Not much else to think about that turn. More weak and vulnerable. Alright, at least he's not attacking us. Pommel strike for the card draw. Dash. Anger. Anger. Cleave. We're getting there, right? $48 coming at our face, though. That's wild. And we draw no, no blocks. But we can double tap the pommel strike to get ourselves a bunch of card draw here. Now Rage gets us some block. The question is, do we bash to stack some vulnerable on him, or do we pommel for some more card draw? Guess it's that. Alright, so all of these angers now are actually going to get us a fair amount of block. Still not as much as we'd like to see, of course, but... I think prioritizing a little more block here is going to be the move. Maybe should have considered the speed potion that turn as well. But we'll in turn, and now we're not taking as massive of a hit. Of course, this is a big one too. Shrug it off for card draw. Not much else to do here. Alright, this is going to be close. least he finally stops attacking. Right, 46 damage to go still. That's lethal damage heading our way. Let's pommel strike for the card draw. Double tap. We barely got there. He had lethal on the board. Alright, flex potion. Now we can add. Don't need berserk. Brutality does not really help us. We'll take an impervious. And for our boss relic, not a good Snecko deck. But we have low cost cards and we don't want to be making those cost more. A Mark of Pain, gain energy at the start of your turn. At the start of combat, shuffle 2 wounds into your draw pile. Or Philosopher's Stone. Gain that at the start of your turn. All enemies start combat with 1 strength. Probably Philosopher's Stone. Alright, we have made it to Act 3. We are still alive. Really doesn't matter which I take here, so random. Alright, we've got the slimes. These guys are lifelink. If I recall, that means I need to pretty much kill them together. Let's rage. Shrug it off. Double tap. Pommel the first guy. Infernal Blade, I suppose, is the thing to do here. Yeah, we gotta spread the damage out. That blocks everything, I think? Yeah, it does. Very long run. What is the correct move? There's a lot of options here. Pervious, Inflame. Pommel strike the back guy. Strike the front guy. And thunderclap him. We should have thunderclapped him first to get the vulnerable stacks on. Alright, I will throw Berserk down. As well as Shockwave. Leave all of them. Not in too bad a shape here. It's a weird little deck that does nothing at all impressive. Somehow just always has an answer so far. Alright, cleave. Again, if we don't kill them all together, they start to revive. I think we can do this. Yep. Awesome. I suppose I'll... No, we've got lots of energy, so I'll skip the energy potion. Power through, no. Cleave, no. Fire breathing, no. Yet another skip. Alright, this guy. Suppose impervious, inflame. Thunderclap Bash. Yeah, that seems fine. Alright, 19 coming at us, but we've got Rage and Shrug It Off. Pommel. Anger. Pommel. And we're blocking it all. I hesitate to even really call it a combo, but simply being able to gain block out of our attacks and play as many attacks for free as we do with Infernal Blade and with Angers, and then getting our card draws with our Pommel Strikes and double tapping to increase those card draws. Kind of synergy. Guess I'll throw Berserk down. Oh, it doesn't matter. We're killing him. I'll skip that. Of course, we've been offered Dark Embrace twice now that we've gotten Corruption out of our deck. Still a skip. Here, I'll take the event because I want to see it and because that gets us into a shop with 320 gold. And it's a shop itself. I skipped it on accident, but that's fine. Because it's another shop. Okay, Clockwork Souvenir. Start each combat with 1 artifact. Bronze Scales, start each combat with 3 thorns. Or Ancient Tea Set. Whenever you enter a rest site, start the next combat with 2 energy. Effective Strike, no. I mean, there's the bomb. Double tapping the bomb. Double tapping the bomb. We're double tapping the bomb. Now we can finally get this stupid Feel No Pain out of the deck. I'm happy with that as a shop. Now let's see if we get an actual event, please. Yes. Upgrade Shrine. Cool. Free upgrade. Oh, what does upgrading the bomb do? Just 10 more damage. What is upgrading Impervious? Makes it 40 block. Infernal Blade costing 0 is probably the move here. Now we get to upgrade another card. Back-to-back upgrades. It's really awesome. May as well upgrade the Anger. The Anger is kind of the key little combo to our deck right now. As shitty of a combo as it is. Alright, the Writhing Mass. Shrug It Off. Bash, strike, strike. Not a crazy turn, but it's not the worst turn. That would have been a better turn to have drawn Impervious. We'll Pommel for our card draw. It's a lot of damage. Take our Dexterity Potion. Pommel for more card draw. Yeah, I'm really not sure what the best play here is. I know I've already played these in the wrong order this turn too. Probably defend. And I'll go ahead and inflame. It gives us a free strike, which gives us more block. I mean, this hurts, but it is what it is, right? Alright, 24 to the face again. We don't have anything good to double tap. was about the worst draw we could have hoped for. Let's give ourselves more strength. Let's apply some vulnerable to him. I suppose Shockwave, because getting that weak on him helps. Cool. Now double tap, strike. That one's so bad. He's taking a cool half of our health, but we've taken half of his. Rage. Infernal Blade gives us a free bludgeon. Everybody loves a free bludgeon. And I don't think we're going to be lasting 3 turns, but there's the bomb. He is attacking us now, though. Shrug it off for the card draw. Okay. We're wounded, but we're hanging on. None of these help us. I mean, True Grit's not bad at all, but exhausting random card is tough too. We'll skip. Oh, we don't have any gold, so do another combat. Oh, we'll shrug it off. I think that middle guy has thorns. Yeah, he does. Alright, 1 damage is not so bad. Rage. Bash. Strike you. Defend. That guy in back has built up so much armor. Alright, the bomb is here though. This can't last too many more turns. Make pommel to see our card draw first. Double tap the bomb. This isn't the time to do it. We're going to be double tapping pommel strike. Anger at him. I think we just got to throw up the defense at this point. We didn't get to play the bomb, but that's fine. Alright, pass the turn. Ow. Not going our way. Flame. Thunderclap for free. Shockwave. Silly to waste an energy potion for 3 block, but that might be the difference between surviving and not. It's kind of how I'm feeling right now. This is not going well. Alright, pommel strike for card draw. Alright, we're through him at least. 15 health, heals up to 27. Let's add another anger to our deck. Now we get to heal. Bottle Lightning. Upon pickup, choose a skill to start each combat with this card in your hand. Start each combat with the bomb? That's probably smart. Now we gotta rest for the health. Okay, getting somewhere. The bomb, of course. Wish we had any sort of defense. Alright, so 16 to the face. Not great. But if we simply survive this combat until the bomb goes off, we're in good shape. Which is 2 more turns now. Plus we have stuff in our hand now. Let's cleave. Pommel strike you. Double tap. Pommel strike you. Anger to you. Shrug it off. Play a free Infernal Blade. And end the turn. Figured this run would take an hour, give or take, and here we are 90 minutes into it. I hope my wife isn't too mad at me for streaming longer than I told her it was going to take. Okay, but Rage, Flame, Bend. Let's just wait for the bomb to go off. Battle Trance plus, draw 4 cards. You cannot draw additional cards this turn. That's not bad. Let's take the Battle Trance plus. We're cruising towards our final boss here, though. Take the rest. Event. Kunai. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 dexterity. Awesome. We do that a lot. Alright, these dudes again, but we're pretty well prepared for them, wouldn't you say? I mean, just cause. Actually, this probably would have been the turn to use the dexterity potion. Well, Impervious, Inflame, Thunderclap, and Defend. I think the double tapped bomb is about to go off anyways, so these guys can get wrecked. Yep, double tap bomb. Offering could be really helpful for us in this last fight that we had before. I'll just take the health to go to max. It's been sketchy, but here we are at the final boss. Let's go ahead and use the offering right off the bat. Let's just get as good of a turn 1 as we can here. Yeah, Battle Trance. Here we go. Double tap the bomb. Infernal Blade. Let's not actually terribly helpful. Bull. Flame. Shockwave. Anger. Oh, we've got the blood potion. Let's go ahead and use the skill potion here. Rage would have been nice to have. Again, I'm relearning the game. There's lots of things I'm doing out of order here. This free seeing red here isn't awful. So that gives us a chance to actually throw our defense out there and get an extra stack of vulnerable on everyone. I guess you can't double tap the bomb because it's a skill, not an attack. So we still have a double tap hanging out, but still. The bomb at all, when it goes off here, is going to be big in this battle because it takes care of the cultists. Probably should just do Impervious. Go ahead and throw Berserk out there. Pommel Strike him. I'm going to focus all my damage on the back because I know that the bomb is going to take care of the cultists at this point. I think this is the turn that Captain's Wheel hits too, right? Unless I'm tripping. Absolutely it is. So those guys are gone after this turn. I guess I'll shrug it off simply for the card draw. Rage. Pommel Strike for more card draw. Bash to keep the vulnerable. Anger. Cleave. Bomb pops now. Getting somewhere. Not much else we can do here besides just this, right? It's gonna deal 23 to our face, but it should be fine. It's a nice easy turn, nothing to think about there. Battle Trance. Double tap our Pommel Strike. Okay, now he comes back as a tougher form, if I remember right. Oh, my dogs are getting in. Yeah, what are you doing, buddy? He's just making noise, he's fine. Alright, so let's throw the bomb out there again. Yeah, so he wakes back up as a really tough guy. Shit. Let's heal. This is gonna hurt. That's gonna take us very close to dead. He's got 39 coming at our face. Shrug it off. Rage. Should have drank the dexterity potion earlier. Fend. We're blocking it though. We're hanging on by a thread, but hanging on indeed here. one bomb goes off. We've got another bomb going off after this turn. 39 to the face again, but Impervious is here to save the day. Pommel Strike for the card draw. Alright, it's gonna be close. 15 health, he's dealing 21, so we don't have to come up with too much block here. Battle chance is huge. Shit. We might be done for though. So we can't draw any more cards after battle chance. We might have lethal damage though. We just have to see. So let's get the vulnerable on him. Throw all of our angers at his face. Pommel strike him. We did it. That was about the roughest first run I could possibly imagine for this, but at least I didn't lose. So awesome. That unlocks some new cards for him for the next time that we use him. And again, the rules here is 1 run per day, and we're going to see how high I can ascend by the time Slay the Spire 2 comes out. Interesting first run.